morning. I'm in the garden this morning. Came to pick a few things, so I thought while I'm here maybe I'll just give you guys a little update and show you what I'm going to be harvesting. This is the entrance to the garden, and right here I'm going to be harvesting some of this basil today. I'll show you that in a minute, but here's the tomato plants. They're super tall. There's the fence. They're taller than the fence. Little path in the middle. All the tomatoes. This one is my favorite here. This is the cherry tomato. And there's just a bunch of fruit starting to come on there. After the tomatoes, we have the ground cherries. And there's also a lot going on here. Here you can see a couple of the ground cherries. They will know they're ready when they fall to the ground. That's why they're called ground cherries. Behind the ground cherries is a bunch of green beans, and then over here are all the peppers. So that pepper is the jalapeno, and then we have bell pepper, and towards the bottom we have banana pepper. So they take a long time. They're one of the last vegetables, but they're doing okay. Alright, along the fence back here we have the cucumbers. So you can see there's a lot of deer damage, and that's why I put this extra chicken wire here, and I'm hoping that they still make it. I think we'll get a little bit, but not as much. The deer really would tell on that. Okay, in the corner there is yellow squash. And there's a pretty good one. I think today might be the day for that one as well. And then going down the other side, we have a bunch of zucchini. That's a volunteer tomato. They are just huge. There's the path in the middle. These are pumpkins here, and they're going over the fence and out along the outside. Over in this corner, it's kind of a mixture. This is a volunteer nasturtium, and that is another yellow squash, but it doesn't get as much sun over here. Same with this zucchini. You can tell they're a lot smaller, but we'll see what happens. There's a sunflower, more nasturtiums. This is the nasturtium bed with sunflowers along the back. Okay, I'll take you to the outside. Where I came from, there's another thing that's trying to protect those beans from the deer, which they ate a bunch of. But coming out of the door of the garden, here we have a garlic, all the way planted last fall. Another sunflower along the edge. And as I was telling you, earlier we planted the beans kind of along the wall, and then they go on the outside, but look at the deer damage. They just come here and love to munch on these. Here's the pumpkin. How I told you it was coming out and around. I'm gonna let these just kind of, I don't want them attached to those, but the goal is for them to just grow along the outside and also along this outside. But check this out. Look at these bean plants. The deer just ate them. Okay, so here's the chicken wire. I'm hoping that some of these will make it. Underneath this zucchini, there's a potato. There was some potatoes that came up from last year. And then again, this chicken wire goes over there. That's where the zucchini are. Okay, as promised, I'll show you some harvesting. This is the zucchini I'm gonna harvest this morning. Just gonna grab it and twist. Oh yeah. Take that, put that in my basket. Back to the basil. Oh, there's a little bug on there. They just blend right in. I know where to go to hide. I'm gonna make some pesto today. So I'm just gonna come down lower on the plant. I wanna leave some leaves on there. Because the leaves will absorb the sun and let it keep growing. I'm just gonna start cutting off some pieces. Oh, I didn't cut all the way through there. we got left? A lot. So I'm gonna use my finger on some of these smaller pieces. And just put them in my basket, my zucchini and my green beans. So here's the big one. Whew. You see these tops? They're starting to flower. I don't want them to flower. I want to harvest it before that. So just cutting some pieces off, put them in my basket. These are big pieces. It's a lot of pesto. So when I make my pesto, I use my blender, my magic bullet, and then I'm going to put them into ice cube trays, and I freeze those. And then whenever I use them throughout the winter, I can just use like an ice cube full, which is about 2 tablespoons. I use it in different stews and recipes. I'm gonna pull some of these big leaves off the bottom because they're almost like hitting the floor, or the ground, I guess I should say. There's a lot of basil on here, you guys. This is gonna be delish. All right, this one up here still has a flower, or not a flower, the startings of the flower. I want it to keep growing. I don't want it to put its energy into that. So that's why I'm taking them off. And those can be used too. All right, this will keep growing. It's gonna grow out bushier and bushier. So I can harvest a bunch right now, make my pesto, freeze it for the winter, and then I'll still have some basil for my recipes. So see how small I took that down? I'll probably leave it like that. Well, maybe I'll take a couple of these that are really close to the ground, and voila. What the basil plants look like now. There's still a lot on there, but like when I'm cooking, I still want to have some. And then here's my basket full of basil. I had to smash it down. There's so much basil in there. My zucchini, and let's go harvest something else. Here's the stems. These will go in the compost bin. And then here's all the basil leaves. So what I'm gonna do, I've got this in the sink. I'm gonna soak it. And then I'll pull the leaves out and strain them, and I'll do that several times to get all the dirt and make sure there's no bugs left. So I rinsed them out a second time. Oops, spilled a few. And now I actually put it in the salad spinner. If you don't have a salad spinner, I highly recommend it. And this time I'll thoroughly dry it. All right, here's my recipe. I'll try, I don't know where I got this online, but it's not my recipe. But I just wanted to show you guys where it says pine nuts. I did read that you can substitute that for different nuts. And the pine nuts that I have found around here are super expensive. So I use almonds, and it's turned out just perfectly fine. I ended up making 2 batches of the pesto, and then I covered it, put it in the freezer. You probably only need a couple hours, but this is next day for me. I had other things I was working on. But I'm gonna uncover it and then take these out, put them in this bag, and then whenever I need it over the winter, then I can use it. So thanks for watching. Good luck with your pesto.